if you eventually want to have a stock portfolio like this, you're going to need to learn how to buy and sell stocks in order to get started. I want to show you guys how easy it is to completely get started investing with any dollar amount. So let's jump right in. All right, so before you guys can see the screen, you're first going to have to sign up for Robinhood, which you can use the link in the description to sign up. And when you use that link, you're going to get $500 to $200 worth of a free stock. And I want to walk over the dashboard with you guys. So at the top left, you're going to see your invested amount, right? How much money you have in total. And then right below that, the chart, you're going to see the 1D, 1Y, and stuff like that. This is where you're going to be able to check your return and your progress over the past month. You can see right under the amount, it says year to date, 3 months. And then right below that, you're going to have your buying power. So in order to have a buying power, you're going to first have to deposit money into the account. And as you can see, the example I'm going to do today is going to be a $1 example. That's why it's the buying power is $1. Right below that, you're going to have all of your holdings, which is going to be crypto, your stocks and ETFs. And then you can see the percentages, and you can also change it just by clicking on it. So where it says total return right here, and then your percentages, you can pretty much choose. So the cool thing about investing is that you can get started with any dollar amount. So you don't really need $1,000, $10,000. You can get started with just as little as $1, as I'm about to show you guys. All right, so I want to show you guys how to deposit into Robinhood. So what I ended up doing was at the bottom right where you see that person icon, right? You're going to click on that, and then you're going to click the top left where you see the 3 dots, or not 3 dots, but the 3 lines. And then you're going to go to transfer. I'm currently not able to show you the process since it's going to block me from the screen recording. But once you click on that, you're going to connect your accounts, and then you're going to just deposit whatever you want to invest. So once you finish depositing, you're going to first get instant credits, right? So you're going to come back to the dashboard, and where it says your buying power, you should be able to see how much you deposited right away. And Robinhood allows you to use that money instantly instead of waiting the 3 to 4 days, right? So I want to show you guys how to search for your stock or ETF that you want to use. So you're first going to have to do your research on a stock or ETF that you want to buy, or ticker symbols they call it. So for example, we're going to be buying stock into Apple. We're going to search up Apple. And the way we search it up is, as you can see, there's a magnifying glass at the bottom right. You're going to click on that right there. And then in the search Robinhood, you're going to search up whatever company, ETF, or crypto that you want to buy. So we're going to search up Apple and then click on that. And as you can see, this might pop up when you first search up Apple, but we're going to cancel that for now. So as you can see, it says Apple, and you see right on top of it where it says AAPL. This is the ticker symbol for companies, right? So instead of having the name completely like out, they have ticker symbols, just a short term or abbreviation for it, right? And then you're going to be able to see the chart of Apple, right, and the price, obviously. And then there's a lot of information right at the bottom, but if you guys want a full tutorial on this, then let me know. But we're just going to get into the buying process of it. So all right, so now we're going to show you how to purchase your first stock into whatever company or ETF or crypto that you want to. Make sure you do your research before investing into these, right? You don't want to go off what somebody else is investing or somebody else's opinion. Do your own research before you start buying your own stocks, and learn the risk management and like the difference, right? But let's get into how to buy your first stock. So once you search up the company, right, you get to the screen on your phone, and you're going to click trade at the bottom right, and then you're going to click buy. And then once we get into this screen, you want to make sure that you have the funds available. At the bottom, I have $1. So we're going to do $1.04, right? So I'm going to put $1.04 since I have that available at the bottom. And then once I type in the dollar amount that I want, I'm going to click review, right? And remember, this is only just $1. And as you can see, your order will be queued as a market order. So the stock market is open on my time, it's only open for what, 6 hours, I believe, or 6.5 hours. And for me, the time is 9:30 to 4. So once it hits 9:30 in the morning, this is going to become a market order and it's going to buy. So I'm just going to press continue right here. And as you can see, I'm just going to swipe up just to submit. So right now it's currently 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So tomorrow at 9:30, when the market first opens, it's going to buy this. And as you can see, amount invested, $1. And then estimated shares, which I have a fraction of a share. And that's the best thing about Robinhood, is that you can, or getting started investing, you can use any dollar amount to start, to get started. And then, so once you bought your first share of a company, right, you're going to go right at the bottom and it's going to say upcoming activity if the market is closed, which it's currently closed. And as you can see, it says entered in amount at the very bottom in dollars, right? And then it says $1.04. So top right where it says this order will be processed when market opens, it's going to open and buy your first share or fractional share of Apple in the morning. All right, so now that you bought shares of a company, I'm going to show you guys how you're going to be able to see your position in that company or ETF. So you first want to go to the main dashboard, right? And then slide down. This is where you're going to have all of your holdings. As you can see, this is the holdings that I have. And then we're going to click SCHG. And then once you get to the screen, remember, instead of it saying SGHG, right, it's going to say Apple or whatever company at the top left, and you're just going to swipe down, and then you're going to see where it says your position. So this is where you're going to be able to see all the details on like when you bought and then your average shares and stuff like that. So right here, as you can see, it says 542. This is how many shares I have of this. And then the average cost at the bottom is what it averages out when you bought it, right? So my average is $22 and it's currently at 32. And then your market value at the top right, this is the total worth of this portion of that stock or ETF. And then your diversity, so how much percentage of your portfolio is into this ETF or stock. And then right at the bottom, you're going to have your total returns, right? You can also see by today, but I wouldn't really focus on that since it's pretty volatile over the short term. That's why you want to invest long term. And that's pretty much how you see your position. All right, so now I want to show you guys how to sell your position if you want to. So we're first going to start by clicking trade, and then we're going to click sell right here, which is above buy. And we're going to click on that, and then we're going to click on the right at the bottom where you see the available amount. However, so if you have $10 worth, you're going to be able to sell $10 worth, you know. So right now, let's just say if I were to invest $1 into this, I'm just going to sell $1. So I'm just going to enter the amount that I want to sell. So I would click review. I'm going to click continue. Since the market's not open, it's giving me that little warning, right? That it's going to sell when the market opens right in the morning. And then just to sell, you're going to click submit. And I obviously don't want to sell any shares, so I'm not going to click that. Let's see if I can go back. Now, if you want to see your total returns of everything combined, you're going to double click the bottom left, right? Double click it or click on it. And then you're going to see at the top left, this is the dashboard like we talked about earlier. And as you can see, if you go to all, you're going to see your returns. So you can click on it and then swipe, and then you're going to be able to see the amounts. And then at the certain date points, and you can do a year to date. So far this year, you can see the amount. And the green at the bottom below the number is just the amount that you gained or lost, right? And then the percentages. So I'm going to show you how it looks when you're down. So if you were down altogether, so right here. So as you can see, within the past month, I've lost $144, right? And then it's red because I'm down, obviously. But right here, I'm green, so I'm up, you know? So like I said, you're going to be able to see all of your positions right here, and you just click on them, swipe down, and then you're going to be able to see your position on all of them, right? Swipe down, all of your positions. And if you want to buy and sell, right, you click trade. This is the Apple one, but you pretty much just click trade and then you're able to sell it. Now, if you guys wanted to withdraw, it's going to be the same thing as when you deposited money. So you're just going to click at the bottom right, and then you're going to click the 3 lines, and then you're going to go to transfer and then withdraw, right, and then choose an account, and then 3 to 4 days, right, it'll be in your account. It's not going to be instant, but yeah, just give it 3 to 4 days and it should be in your account. All right, so now that you know how to buy and sell stocks, I kind of want to go over common mistakes that people make whenever they get into investing. So the first problem is that they're thinking short term, right? Not long term. And if you're planning on doing or investing for the short term, like, you have to realize the risk of it. Not even some of the best companies in the world are not just going straight up like this over time, right? You're gonna see like the little patterns up and down, right, which is called volatility, right, in the stock market world. But they might have some months where they're down 30%, or not 30%, but down 10%, right, 5%. So sticking to it short term isn't really the best way to go about it. Like, it's called speculation if you're doing short-term investing, which is less than a year. And investing is if you're investing over 5 to 10 years, right, long term, and even 40 years, right. This is where you're going to make bulk of your money, because if you look back at a stock chart over the long term, you can see that it's gradually increasing if it's a good company, right? And they're going to have a little ups and downs throughout the way, right? And there's like a saying or a statement that if you invest for 20 or so years, then your chances of losing money is 1%, which people don't really understand why. And that's going to lead me into the next thing. When people start investing, they usually buy like risky stocks, right? They don't understand the risk that they're taking, right? There's safer stocks and there's also stocks that are not so safe, right? You want to be on the safer side if you're concerned about like losing money and stuff like that, right? Your returns are going to be smaller, right? But you're still going to beat the inflation rate, which is better than nothing, and also even beating the bank rates. But before you even start investing, you want to make sure that you do your research and actually know what you're investing into, right? And see the history behind the investment that you're investing into. You can watch YouTube videos and learn about stocks as you're investing, right? But just get the basic fundamentals and know exactly what you're investing into, and know like the risks behind it, you know? And selling whenever the stock drops is literally the worst time to buy, because like I said, over the long term, the good companies are actually going to be going up over time, right? And whenever it drops and you sell, you're literally like only buying whenever you're losing, right? You're never going to sell when you're up. You're only going to sell when you're down. Like, think about it, right? So you can see that every single stock chart has rebounded. Any good company has rebounded over the long run. And usually when it goes down, you want to buy more of it, because it's going to go back up. And this is proven over time. It's happened repeatedly, right? Where it shoots down or it crashes, right? And it shoots back up. So do not sell whenever you see that your account is in red, right? Just invest more, or just don't even touch it at all until you get in the green, and then you wait 30-40 years, right? So hopefully you probably got over the fear of investing, right? You realize that it can be pretty safe investment whenever you actually evaluate what you're investing into and take the proper risk, right? And really diversify your portfolio. As you can see, I do not own one stock or one ETF. I own like 4 or 5, all into different categories, right? I even have crypto in there. So I actually hope that you started investing and you actually bought your first share on Robinhood. And I also want to make a series of investing, like pick a new investment and just invest in it over time like a regular person would, right? It's not going to be a ridiculous amount. It's going to be something that's actually doable for the average person. Now, if that sounds interesting, let me know what the amount should be down below, and hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.